Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Bong It Diaries. Got a treat for you. Look at my new tray. Want to show it off? Isn't she sexy? Oh my goodness. This is actually a regular serving tray, and for some reason the bongs fit in here perfectly. This glass serving set is actually custom designed to fit in this dish. This spinner. It just fit perfectly. I thought I'd share that with you. Show you how my mind's right. So my mind is right today. So we're gonna Pellegrino. What's going on in Oceano? We're back to the dust issue again, I guess. So the left, meaning Jimmy Paulding and God knows who else, have a political media online assault along with the Slow Tribune, because they always back those Democrats. It's just so insidious. You have the Cal Coast News always writing articles in favor of right-wing nut jobs, or they just go and crucify people. And then you have that, and it's very irresponsible most of the time. And then you have the Slow Tribune, and they're just as irresponsible, except they crucify people a lot less. And they don't go after personal vendettas as much. I mean, they have higher standards. So you have this back and forth, which is so petty. I guess last week they're arguing over the ownership of a cat that took up all the county's media and all their attention about some cat named, who gives a shit? It was a shitty cat fight that took place in Slow County. And this is what we basically have here is children. Very few people with credibility. Let me make this dust issue very easy for people, because most people could never speak at the level that I could speak at. Jimmy Paulding could never, ever claim that he is an environmental scientist. He is not. Okay, he has an engineering degree, and he is not an environmental engineer by any stretch of the imagination. He's never taken any, when it's concerning the atmosphere. Okay, no, you don't just read books. You actually have to do the work. He's never done any of the work in the field. Field work, like legitimate field work for the government. He's never done that. So this is a new topic for him. Most of the stuff that people get, they read. They're not experts in the field. They could never write a white paper to a government agency for a grant explaining to them that they would need what? 21st century technology to figure out a 21st century problem. The problem here is they're using 20th century technology to scam people into what? Believing that the Dune writers, which basically they're using as a red herring, the Dune writers are causing, largely contributing to the dust issue here in the dunes. Let me make this argument null and void right now for people that don't understand very much science. Take a look at how big the dunes really is and how big the body of sand. Just look at the body of sand. It goes all the way. It stretches all the way from Pismo. Not only, this is Slow County, past Guadalupe, which is another county, all the way up to where? Vandenberg Air Force Base. And Vandenberg has their own set of dunes out there too. So people that actually have trekked through the area know how large volume of sand that's contributing to our air quality versus, I don't know, about 100 acres or so that they're riding on versus miles and miles that stretching of body of sand. I mean, they shot the damn 10 Commandments for Christ's sake. They shot the 10 Commandments here for Christ's sake. I guess that would be appropriate, wouldn't it? So if you look at it, that body of sand is larger than all 5 cities put together, and including the city of San Luis Obispo and Avila Beach. Do you understand how big this body of sand is now? Do you understand now why they're using the dune riders as a red herring? Let me explain to you why they're using the dune riders as a red herring. Let's look at all the people that are involved in this. Oceano is the only community that's in the black in their community services district. Their water district has all the water for the South County. Why? Because they're the ones that never opted out for state water. Now they have a huge state water project underway, which the governor, a Democrat, supports, and he wants us to continue to receive state water. And why is that crucial for 5 cities? Because the Oceano is a feeder to these other cities. We can actually sell them our water. Our water system set up to where we can share, if necessary, with other communities. So Oceano is key to all development in the South County, period. And they're using the dust issue as a red herring. Why? Because they want people to lower the particulate matter in the air and come to conclusion on what it has to be in the South County for further development of high density housing. So Oceano has a few things in its favor that no other community in 5 cities or even the entire county can claim. We have a functioning sanitation plant. We have a functioning water system where we have not unlimited, but we have way more water that we can get from the state than any other community. Way more than you could expect from Lopez Reservoir, all this other stuff. We just have unlimited, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than what they're getting now. So Oceano is key for all future development in the South County. So in order to build a large development like they're doing off a 101 freeway outside the city of Slow, or in the city of Slow, actually, that everybody's complaining about. It went from first 500, then 600, now it's 800. I think it's over 1,000 units that's going to contribute to traffic. And that traffic is going to contribute to the particulate matter in the air, as well as, I don't know, the Chipotle grill that they'll probably end up building over here, which will never happen. Everybody will be against that. But you got to understand there has to be an infrastructure to support that. So you have all these new merchants that are in the area that have to open up, and hospitals and so forth. That all contributes to what? Air quality. So in order to build along the coastal region, which is very sensitive to nature, you have to have air quality credits, meaning the air quality has to be, especially the large particulate matter or the larger particulate matter, has to be within a certain realm. Okay? So we don't have that. We don't have those credits. They want to lower the particulate matter in an area that's naturally windy and dusty. And that is a good thing for the residents of Oceano. Nobody ever talks about that. That's not for this video. I'm not going to talk about that. But I will make a point. People like Cynthia Rapogel, people like Jimmy Paulding are not environmental scientists. They don't have the background. They don't have the qualifications. They are people that read books and think they know what's going on. I'm a real environmental scientist. I am credible. The government says so. I was able to bill the government hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour for consulting. Did they go to Jimmy Paulding or Cynthia Rapogli when the world came tumbling after 9/11? No, they came to me. They said, Clark, where are the weapons and how do we defuse these things? And you're qualified to be around all these chemicals because you know how it travels through the air. I'm qualified in nuclear and biological training and how it travels through the air. People don't know all these things about me. So people like Jimmy Paulding and Cynthia Pogel, I can pick up real quick that they're full of shit. Both of them. And then you got Cynthia Pogel putting down people like Miss Linda Austin, which actually has a nature preserve, okay, where she doesn't. Miss Austin's actually preserving nature on her property where the state is failing. People got to remember it was the state that moved the snowy plover's nest, nobody else, and they're doing a poor job. The biggest contributing factor to trash out there is the homeless population. Okay, it's not the people using the beach responsibly. The families, they do contribute. There are people that don't follow all the rules, but for the most part, they do. So nobody ever talks about the existential problems that are out there, the real trash problems, and the real security problems out there, which is the homeless, drugged out homeless population that's been there for years, destroying the creek bed, destroying the nature preserve. Everybody overlooks that. Okay, that's the biggest problem out there. The dune riders, if anything, they're helpful. Like I said, they pull people out of the sand. Wouldn't you want your grandmother to go out there with your grandfather, drive out there, look at the beach because they're elderly, and just look at the sunset with their radio at, like they're going to a drive-in movie theater, but watching nature? Wouldn't you want that? Don't you want to be able to do stuff like that? Most people, like Cynthia Rapogel, don't understand this community because they don't actually contribute to its preservation and conservation. For example, you wouldn't see Cynthia Rapogel going out of her way to picking up stuff like this so it's not destroyed. I'm going to donate this to the Historical Society here. So you got people like Miss White and Miss Gibson from Halcyon that preserve our community, and they conserve the way they live. They're not only conserving preserving their culture and their community, they're preserving other people's culture. Like if you go over there, they would be reading books like this. They're preserving Indian culture, Egyptian culture. They teach people about it too. They teach about people about African culture. So these people that Cynthia Rapogel and Jimmy Paulding, they're just envious of people that actually contributed in so many other ways to this community. They actually preserve the community. They conserve the way they live. Most of them are vegetarians. So these people are just envious. Most of these people are wise, experienced, and intelligent. And that's what's lacking here. Just because you have intelligence and you have a school training doesn't mean you have experience, number one. And from that experience, you get wisdom. So you have to have intelligence, experience, and then wisdom. And the diversity that these people bring to our community, meaning Linda Austin and all these ATV outfits that bring people to our beach. People come from all over the world. Okay, most of the people that work for these ATV outfits, they speak 6 or 7 languages fluently. Don't let people fool you who these people are in these pickup trucks. They're highly intelligent people and highly capable people. But you'll have Cynthia Rapogel and you'll have Jimmy Paulding actually using these time-tested identity politics, saying people that drive pickup trucks are a bunch of dumb rednecks. They are not. Okay? And a lot of them don't have weapons. You know what they do? They'll give you your hand. They'll give you a shovel. Okay? And they'll help you dig your car out when you get stuck out there. These are the people I know. They're very, very, very giving people and friendly people. And you have people like Cynthia Rapogel that come to our community and they use foul language. They're not team players. They don't preserve anything. They don't conserve anything. They don't have a track record from our community to actually participate. And all they want to do is destroy other people's lives and their reputation with their synthetic backgrounds. Okay? So people are done with all this craziness. Like, I made a t-shirt with Bruce Gibson on it. Bruce Gibson. Cum stain. 2022. I'm ready for that election. So people don't understand how dusty it is. See, look, you see that? That's dust on that speaker right there. It's so dusty, I have to vacuum my speaker grill cloth. And I have to put something up here to keep dust from going inside of here. You see how dusty it is? Okay? I'd rather put his face and get dust on his face. Now I also can put my coffee mug here too. Let's do that now. There you go. The reason why I do that, this guy, he had sex with his employee and he married her, divorced his wife. These guys are just, they have no shame. Okay. So, yeah, I think I'm finished here. I think I made my point. You have a lot of people that are fraudulent in their words and their behavior, and they purport to be things they're not. I checked Cynthia Rapogle's background. She purported to be a rocket scientist, all these things. What I did find out about her was that she doesn't work well with others. And they're glad she's not working there anymore. I literally picked up the phone. I have people's phone numbers. Okay. When you're actually accomplished in the field, okay, and you know people, vice presidents and presidents, you can actually pick up your own cell phone and call them. Okay. And it's like yesterday talking to them. So you would never get this from a corporate PR department. They would not give you that intel. So that's what I learned about her. Okay. She is not a team player. And what she does is she projects what she's doing onto other people, meaning talking bad about other board members. She's constantly doing that online and then accusing very graceful people of doing the same exact thing. Not happening. Most of these women, actually from Oceano, have figured out her game. All it is destroy the other person's character online and then vote for me because I'm Hispanic. And so apparently somebody needs to tell a bro from Oceano, meaning April Dury and Cynthia Pogel, that they are not Latin. And somebody also needs to tell those idiots, who else? Aileen Villa and that other Hispanic male that's running for office, local board. They are not Latin. They're Hispanic, okay? They don't even know the difference. So I'm talking about all these people that want to say they're Latinx. It's ridiculous. I don't have a problem with them actually using the term Latin. They've been called Latin for many years. They don't know otherwise. But I have a problem with the position that they use the X, okay? Because I know geometry. All you got to do is change the position of anything, and it changes the meaning, okay? So all I want them to do, instead of saying Latinx, say X Latin. Even better, X lax. Because you're laxing in your Latin. Latin is actually a Greek culture. You see that? You see those people right there? Those people. Not Hispanic, not Hispaniola. Okay, you're not Latin, even if you're from Hispaniola. Even if you're from Spain, that doesn't mean you're Latin. Very few people are Latin in the world now. So, there you go. You have people that want to preserve local history, white people's history, about how they ran the railroad over the Native Americans and stole their land. I'm just kidding. No, there's a lot of nice people here that are white, black, doesn't matter what the color they are. And you have a lot of white people that are preserving international history and actually promoting it, promoting diversity. And you have people like Cynthia Rapogel that are pretending diversity, pretending to support Hispanic needs and everybody's. The biggest fraud here is they learn from Jimmy Paulding. All you have to do is get the Hispanic vote, which is the minority, not the majority. Okay, it's not the majority here. There may be they considered a minority, but they are the majority of voters here. So they don't care about Hispanic. All they care about is getting elected. Okay, and everybody knows this. Jimmy Paulding's the biggest fraud of them all. Okay, he doesn't care about Hispanics. He only cares about getting elected. And how many Hispanic friends does he have now since college? A lot more. Total fraud. So if you actually are paying attention to politics, which I am, you realize that people that are purporting to be experts are not. And I'm glad that Marsha, a.k.a. Lynn Compton, picked up on that. Okay? She had the gut feeling of saying, no, these people with PhDs actually aren't capable people. All you need to do is run a LADAR scan. Okay? LADAR would figure out everything lickety-split, 21st century for a 21st century problem. So, If you want a 21st century solution, talk to an expert, not frauds. Go infantry or go home.